Look, I can't just stand around being inquisitive all day. That's the kind of thing that you leave to the Inquisitors. No, there's no kind of crime, no street out there that cannot be cleaned up with a good solid punch. Trust me on that. I've done it. All the streets are clean now after I punched them back into line. Hello everyone, and welcome back down here to the Gamer's Den with me, your host, Jordan, your Master of Lore and Storyteller Extraordinaire, here to bring you the last bit of the class abilities for the first edition Pathfinder Vigilante. There aren't too terribly many left here, but there's a fair bit to each of them, and it's worth covering with just a little bit more detail given how everything kind of blends together pretty nicely. But before we get into all of that, if you're new here to the channel, go on down there, hit the subscribe button, and become a regular member here at the Gamer's Den. Or, if you've already gone on ahead and listed yourself on such a legendary roster of incredible heroes, then go on down to hit the like button and share the video far and wide. But now, let's start talking about the last array of class abilities here. And kicking things off at 3rd level, we have Unshakable. Add your class level to the DC for Intimidate checks made against you. Now, you're gonna be doing pretty alright more often than not. There are not gonna be too many people really capable of intimidating you all that much. But this is pretty handy for a lot of those different kinds of social interactions, and I definitely rate this a bit higher than some of my other contemporaries out there who have made class guides regarding the Vigilante. I like this a little bit more, but I'm also more prone to throwing out social encounters that kind of match up with what the classes are geared towards. But, you know, your mileage may vary. Next, at 5th level, you're going to pick up Startling Appearance. When you make an attack against a foe unaware of your presence, the target is treated as flat-footed for the rest of your turn, taking a -4 penalty to attack until the start of your next turn. Uncanny Dodge prevents this unless you are 4 levels above the target. That sound you may be hearing there is my apprentice storyteller, Atticus, uninitiated to any circles of lore. He is yelling around and making a little bit of a ruckus, but we'll carry on here. He's just being adorable right now. Anyways, 11th level, Frightening Appearance. When you make an attack against a target unaware of your presence as Startling Appearance, attempt an Intimidate check as a free action against the target and all enemies in a 10-foot radius. Will DC 10 plus 1/2 Vigilante level plus the Charisma modifier of the Vigilante. On failure, the target is frightened for 1 round, in addition to being shaken. This is in addition to the Startling Appearance bonuses, and this is a mind-affecting fear effect, usable once every 24 hours on a single target. I should rephrase that, not on a single target, any target that you pick out, you can only use this ability on them once in 24 hours. One other thing I would note here, though it's not exactly clarified, my read on this is that it's a 10-foot radius on the target, not necessarily yourself, because this would just make ranged attackers completely unviable, something that would not work out very well. So, a 10-foot radius around the target, but check with your DM to see what they say in regards to the matter. Now, at 17th level, you're going to pick up Stunning Appearance. When you make an attack against a foe unaware of you, they make a will save DC 10 plus 1/2 Vigilante level plus your Charisma modifier, or be stunned until the end of your next turn. This is in addition to the bonuses of Startling and Frightening Appearance. If the creature has more hit dice than the Vigilante's class level, it gets a +4 circumstance bonus on the save. This ability is usable on a creature once every 24 hours. So, all together here, these abilities all mesh and blend together really nicely and really max out your ability to just deploy a massive debuff on targets within that first round of combat, really incentivizing you to try to bring them down fast, either as an Avenger by just hitting them with incredibly accurate strikes, or as a Stalker, leveling just absolute tons of precision damage on them. So this gives you a pretty good idea on what you can infer as how you're supposed to play the class. You're supposed to just do this sudden burst damage, really annihilate your foe's morale just as you begin actually annihilating them. It's all the way around a really fun class, and as Captain Crank pointed out, I agree and do believe that this class is better than the rogue at what the rogue is supposed to be good at. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic. But we still have to wrap things up. We are at level 20, the Capstone ability, which is Vengeance Strike. The Vigilante can spend up to 5 consecutive rounds studying a target. On the following round, they make a Vengeance Strike on the creature, as long as the target is unaware of the Vigilante's presence. Each round spent grants one of the following bonuses: a +4 circumstance bonus on the attack roll, deal an additional 3d6 precision damage, or treat the attack roll as 2 higher for determining if it threatens a crit. These may be selected any number of times. Now, if the Vigilante is an Avenger, they automatically confirm any crit they threaten with Vengeance Strike. Stalkers, normally able to add a special effect from their Vigilante talents that are marked with an asterisk, can instead add 2 special effects to Vengeance Strike instead of the usual limit of 1. Both of those are pretty massive all the way around. I mean, auto-confirming critical hits is pretty fantastic, especially if you're going into a build that has a pretty broad critical range using a scimitar or a falchion or any number of other weapons, because if you take improved critical and you have a scimitar, you're looking at already a 15 to 20 on your critical hit rolls, or on your critical threat range, and then being able to count any roll that you make as 2 higher really opens up that range for what will end up being a critical hit. It's very handy all the way around. Both of these are actually very fantastic. Joining me now is my journeyman storyteller Nora, initiate to the 7th circle of lore, and my apprentice storyteller, Atticus, recently initiated into the 9th circle of lore, and bringing along a little bit of artifice, his familiar, his beep beep, absolutely all the way around. Hello, son. Can you say hello? I am recording and doing things for my YouTube channel. I asked him if he wanted to say hello.
Oh, it's my dog.
Yes.
Dog.
Oh, careful, son. Can you go give sister a hug real quick?
No, I don't.
But let me know what you think. Go on down to the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Did you like today's video? Did you dislike it? Go on down to let me know your thoughts one way or the other. Hit those like or dislike buttons and we'll engage in discussion. And remember, if you're new here to the Gamer's Den, go on down there, hit the subscribe button, and become a regular member. But with all that said, I've been your host, Jordan, your Master of Lore and Storyteller Extraordinaire. Thank you all so very much for your time, and you all have yourselves a good night. Where'd my mouse go?